Landscapes formed by rivers and the sea are a central part of Southeast Asia's unique beauty. But the people who live in these places also face enormous risks. Flooding from rivers, heavy rainfall and the sea has become more frequent and more intense in the last years. This is also the case for Thừa-Thiên-Huế province in central Vietnam. Along with climate change, population growth, the disappearance of ecosystems, and increasing urbanization, the province is becoming more and more vulnerable to the impacts of flood hazards. A group of society that is especially vulnerable to the impacts of flooding is women. Women are traditionally responsible for taking care of the sick, elderly, and children, and for securing local livelihoods, and usually they have little mobility and only little financial resources. In the case of flooding, they are also subject to the increased burden of providing food, water, and safety for their families, and to reconstruct their homes. But their position also represents an immense source of potential. As central managers of natural resources, women have the knowledge and experience to build community resilience. However, they are hardly represented in formal decision-making on disaster risk management, which often focuses on large-scale structural solutions such as dikes or reservoirs. In this situation, the Resilnam project will work on a complementary approach, ecosystem-based adaptation or EBA. This approach helps to reduce flood risk by sustainably managing and restoring ecosystems, which at the same time can generate multiple social, economic and cultural benefits. As EBA measures are more inclusive, accessible and support local livelihoods, they are also a promising means to strengthen the role of women in disaster risk management and climate change adaptation. Through a close collaboration with the Women's Union and the Disaster Management Centre, as well as through partnership with different local and regional stakeholders, Resilnam will work on 2 EBA projects to increase the flood resilience of urban as well as coastal communities. And in both projects, women will play a key role. In urban areas of Hue City, natural rivers, man-made canals and lakes have a significant function in facilitating water retention and drainage in the rainy season and creating pleasant landscapes. But nowadays, the water bodies of the city are increasingly blocked by construction, temporary houses and solid waste. In order to reduce flood risk from heavy rainfall, the project will invest in the restoration, conservation and sustainable management of these important water bodies. In the coastal areas along the lagoon, the livelihood of over 500,000 people is closely linked to ecosystems that are increasingly under pressure. Here, the Resilnam team will invest in the planting of mangroves. Mangroves can help to increase flood resilience by reducing wave and tidal energy and coastal erosion. Besides these advantages, both projects will have multiple economic, social and environmental benefits, supporting women's livelihoods and fostering education, knowledge dissemination, and the strengthening of cooperation between all the actors involved. A challenge, however, is that the various benefits of ecosystem-based adaptation are difficult to account for. Therefore, in order to provide evidence-based support for policymaking and facilitate upscaling, Resilnam will also conduct evaluation of the effectiveness, costs, and multiple advantages of both activities. Finally, through this combined approach of using EBA and strengthening the role of women in disaster risk management and climate change adaptation, Resilnam will contribute to increasing flood resilience in Thừa-Thiên-Huế province and hopefully beyond.